Again, Kap making the rounds, by the way. When asked, he will serve, as he was a guest on the Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, and Brad Mortman show on ESPN Milwaukee. The show airs between 2 and 5.
Bears fans are scared bleepless for this game. I have noticed there's a quiet group that are in first place in our office. There's about 8 of them that I saw like kind of talk to each other, and they know that they have not beat the Packers enough to be able to even talk at all. They're living in fear, as they should be. The stats are the stats. The numbers are the numbers, people. Green Bay has won 14 of the last 17 games against the Bears. They are 49-16 since 92 when Favre took over. So I would be scared too, and I just want to let you all know you should be scared. You absolutely should be scared. This Green Bay Packers team is like, there are levels to this, and if the Bears skip this level, I'll be shocked. You don't just go from like ass to winning the North. The Packers have been consistently right there with Matt LaFleur. They've fallen short of the Lions. They've knocked that demon out the way 2-0. And I truly believe that the point differential, like this is when you have to play consistently good teams like the Bears will have to at the end of the season, you get them twice, they're going to be exposed. Caleb Williams has a 57% completion percentage. Yes, they've run the ball really well, but they are not what their record says they are.
From ESPN Milwaukee.
Sit your ass down.
Yeah, that's our friend Ben Brust, fake Packer fan, by the way, grew up a Bears fan till he went to play for the Badgers and said, oh, I can make a living being a Packer fan and doing radio up there. Mm-hmm. Love him. Don't believe that is coursing through his veins, folks.
Well,
take that, Ben.
I mean, well, I'll just say this, that I can understand if there were juggernaut top teams in the National Football League, like, boy, it's hard to beat that team. Kap, this whole thing, this whole NFL is just filled with parity. Mm-hmm. This whole NFL. I can understand if the Packers were a team that you'd be afraid of. No one's afraid of the Green Bay Packers. They're just now playing their best football. Mm-hmm. Let's just be honest, right? Mm-hmm. And so the record that they have is earned, and the Bears' record that they've had is earned. But no one around here is afraid of the Green Bay Packers. Not afraid of them.
No.
You want to beat them, obviously. You want to win all the games, but you want to beat the Packers. But this idea that Bears fans are shivering, you got to play them twice within 3 weeks. No one's afraid of Green Bay. They're not some juggernaut at the top of the National Football League. It's like, boy, when you go into Lambeau, you don't want to play. They don't have that.
Correct.
They don't have that fear, I think, for anybody that plays the Green Bay Packers. Let's just be honest. They're just as good as some of the other good teams in the NFL, but they're not in the upper echelon of great teams in the NFL, if you can say that in this league.
Yeah, there's really no single team. If I said, Shay, find me the toughest opponent and drop them into the Bears game this week, there's not one team where you go, oh, that's a loss. The Rams would be very tough. The Packers are going to be very tough. Mm-hmm. There's a handful of teams that will be very, very tough to beat. You might lose. But is there one team where you go, yeah, that's like the Dodgers all year?
Sure.
They're clearly the best team in baseball. They're going to win it? I don't know. But they're clearly the best. There isn't anybody like that in the NFL.
No, not in this NFL. I think this is what Roger Goodell wants. The idea that there's multiple, especially new markets, that have a chance. Mm-hmm. Carolina Panther fans, if there's a such thing, has to be happy that the Panthers are relevant.
That's correct.
And not being the doormat that they've been in the past. So I just think no one's afraid of Green Bay. It's just that the Bears have to find a way to once again be unique and be able to beat the Packers. It may not just be with the running game. It might be number 18's arm, might be Caleb Williams, might be the defense, might be special teams. You need all of it to win games in the NFL.
Listen, anybody can get it league. You can get an L, you can get an L.
Yeah.
Anybody can lose at any given time, despite what your team has or the record. It don't matter.
Right. You could even be playing at this historic stadium in Wisconsin, and, I don't know, The Browns could beat you in Cleveland, and then you could come home and lose to, well, I don't know, the Carolina Panthers.
It happens, man. In this league,
nobody expected Green Bay to lose to the Browns.
brother.
No.
In this
But
league,
it happens.
man. It happens. So no one's afraid, Brust. I want to make sure that's clear up there in Milwaukee. Nobody's afraid. It's just the Bears have to find a way to beat them, like they found a way to beat a lot of opponents this year.
You know who I think is afraid? I think Brust and Company's afraid because
And company.
if we roll in there and beat them, oh, God, what are they going to say on Monday?
There is some projecting going on.
And that's fine. That's fine. I'd be afraid too. You've been at the top of the heap for a long time. The Bears have been in the basement. Imagine that being flipped. That's not comfortable for them up there. And actually, for the average Green Bay fan or the average Milwaukee sports fan, you know what they want? They want the Lombardi. It's not even about the Bears game. It's about being at the top. They feel like they failed if they're not in the championship picture because they have standards up there. I totally get it. Their standards is, wait, we're in the playoffs, you got bounced again? They don't like that.
No.
They don't like just to be there like the Steelers.
When the Niners rolled in there a few years ago and Robbie Gould walked off for the 49ers.
Yeah, so they don't want to. It's not like the Steelers just happy to be there. They want to be in the championship picture. That's how their fans roll. But they haven't been in a long time.
That's correct.
312-332-ESPN is our phone number. Dallas, Texas, listening on the ESPN Chicago app. Here's Jake on Kap and J Hood. Jake, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Hey, I just wanted to give my take on the season so far and what I think. And here's what I believe. So I actually think we've already exceeded expectations going into the season. But now, considering that there's no real team running away with this, my mindset shifted like, yeah, we should make a pretty deep playoff run based on the way the team has played over the last few weeks. Because although I was cautiously optimistic with the way we were beating the teams that we were playing, because I thought that I do believe that there is a little bit of a strength of schedule play in what we've had, but over the last 3 or 4 weeks, I just have really seen this team turn around, and I think that we really have an opportunity to make a statement here. Now, I have a second point here, and then I say this in all fun and games, but I want to hold Kap a little bit of accountable with all of his bearing on Ben Johnson, because I do like Ben Johnson. But if we go back to February and Kaplan was the GM, we would have Mike McCarthy as our GM.
No. Hold on. I have said 50 million times on the air, I never thought the Chicago Bears would spend the money to get Ben Johnson. Never in a million years.
Fair enough. However, and I quote, you said, I do not want a flavor of the month coordinator, and I want someone who's done the job before.
Fair. I said Ben Johnson's clearly the prize, and we'll never spend the money to get him. Give Kevin Warren and George all the credit, Ryan Poles, that they convinced the owner to do that and got that done. Obviously, that was the right move. Never, ever have I seen my Bears look like that. Oh, Dennis Allen's getting other offers? How much is it going to take? $5 million. Done. Give it to him. Never did I think they would do that. So I wouldn't have just picked Liam Cohen or some other coordinator. I would have hired somebody who's been a head coach before. So that's where I was.
And I wanted Vrabel. So there you go, Jake.
Well, I think we all knew that we weren't going to get Vrabel. And honestly, this is a good
I don't think that everybody thought that the Bears weren't going to get Vrabel because he did interview. There was a conversation. So you can't say everybody because that's not true.
True.
Yeah, they liked him a lot, and they said he had a great interview, but he made it clear to them in the interview, New England's home. If they offer me that job, I am going to take it. But I'm very interested because I don't know if they're going to offer me the job. That's what Vrabel told the Bears.
Yeah, so that was still, the door was still ajar for Vrabel at that time, Jake. But we